And when they take to the ground, and the crowd comes alive, oldies in the words of the song. Up there, Pizzali, in there and fight. Out there and at 'em, show 'em your might. Up there, Pizzali, show 'em your hide. Fight like the devil, the crowd's on your side. Now there's a lot more things to football than really meets the eye. There are days when you could give it up, there are days when you could fly. But when your team comes out, you love it, oh yes you really do. And when your team comes out, or they kick a goal, you come shining through. Up there, Pizzali, in there and fight. Out there and at 'em, show 'em your might. Up there, Pizzali, show 'em your hide. Fight like the devil, the crowd's on your side. Up there, Pizzali, in there and fight. Out there and at 'em, show 'em your might. Up there, Pizzali, show 'em your hide. Fight like the devil, the crowd's on your side. The crowd's on your
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first 4X Coaches Team of the Year. The host tonight, Gala Evening, would you please make welcome Sandy Rowan.
Thank you, Peter. All bright, happy faces, isn't it wonderful? Then thank you very much too to Geraldine Turner. What a sensational version of Up There, Kazali. Can we put our hands together for Geraldine once again? On a formal note, good evening everyone, and welcome to the 4X VFL Coaches Team of the Year. It's an all-star gathering for the announcement of the first real all-stars team, selected by the men closest to the action, and I'm talking about the 12 coaches themselves. There was only one selection restriction. The coaches were not allowed to pick a player from their own side. The result is certainly sure to be fascinating. The 3-2-1 votes have been collated by the VFL auditors, Touche Ross, Chartered Accountants, and they incidentally are represented here tonight by partners in the firm, Paul Shannon and Brian Jamison. As well as the prestige of being selected in this inaugural 4X Coaches Team of the Year, each of the players who have made the side will receive one of these magnificent trophies as a memento. The votes have been cast, they've been collated, and now it's time to meet the selectors. The 12, or I don't think they're all here tonight, coaches who form our distinguished panel. Firstly, from Footscray, the former Tiger Premiership player in his third year with the Bulldogs, Michael Malthouse. From Geelong, a former Premiership player with the club who's just completed his first season, make welcome John Devine. Unfortunately, the coach of the last two VFL Premierships, Kevin Sheedy, cannot be here tonight. I believe he's over buying a replacement for Greg Phillips. So we wish him well. In fact, it won't be Greg Phillips, was he? Because Lee Matthews will be doing that. But we do have an apology from Kevin. And also from Melbourne in John Northey, who cannot be with us tonight. So to those three gentlemen, we certainly do apologise. Now let's move along to the next one. And as we said, Collingwood, Lee Matthews cannot be here. And as I mentioned earlier too, if he can find a replacement for Greg, good luck. He was at the Alberton game on Saturday watching Port Adelaide and Norwood. Now to Hawthorn, he's been coaching since 1961, has 2 premierships to his credit. Make welcome Alan Jeans. from Sydney, hardly any need to introduce this man. 4 VFL premierships and a dozen finals campaigns. Make welcome Tom Hafey. From Fitzroy, the coach of 3 VFL premierships with Hawthorn and Carlton, David Parkin. From St Kilda, now in his 3rd season with the Saints, a former player, Graham Jelly. From Carlton, the man who's taken the Blues into the finals in his 1st year back at the club, Robbie Walls. From Richmond, the coach of the Tigers' last premiership side back in 1980, Tony Jewell. And the coach of North Melbourne, who first started at Hawthorn 26 years ago. A legend amongst coaches. Make welcome John Kennedy. Well, they have picked the team, and this is most important. They will naturally handle any correspondence about selections. We'll be back in just a moment to look at their final nominations. And welcome back to the 4X VFL Coaches Team of the Year. Only 2 back pockets have won the Brownlow medal since 1924. Geelong great Bernie Smith and Footscray's red-haired West Australian Brad Hardy, of course, last year. Both men were capable of tagging the most elusive rovers in the game, yet lost none of the drive and individuality in their own games. While these 2 men represent different eras and differing football fashions, the VFL has witnessed some superb back pocket players in the last 30 years.
The cool and dapper John Beckwith shone in Melbourne's great sides of the 50s. He captained the side from the back pocket and led the Demons to 2 premierships. Richmond's Kevin Sheedy epitomised the ruggedness of the position. His bruising tactics could be very effective against resting rovers. It was from the back pocket that Hawthorn's David Parkin led his side to the 1971 premiership over St Kilda. Ian Nankervis knew the roving art to perfection, and when he turned defender, he played his best football, captaining Geelong for 5 years from the last line of defence and winning 4 Best and Fairest awards. The back pocket ruckman might be a thing of the past, but remember the marking feats of Gary Dempsey, whose long arms pulled in so many marks in the shadow of the goals over 337 VFL games. Back pocket defence with a difference.
And so to the final nominations for the first position of back pocket. Now, this back pocket player has the job of minding the ruck rovers. The nominations are from Carlton, Peter Dean; from Hawthorn, Gary Ayres; and from Geelong, Mark Yates. And the winner, the back pocket player minding the ruck rovers, Gary Ayres of Hawthorn. A fine achievement, particularly for one person who is, I believe, affectionately known at the club. And this is a bit cruel, isn't it? Conan the Barbarian?
Yes, it is a bit, Sandy. You'll have to ask Rod Lester-Smith about that one, I believe.
Well, we might get the chance to a little bit later on in the evening. You began your career with Hawthorn possibly more as a forward player than a defender. Then Alan Jeans decided, right, we'll give him a go in defence. How did you like the transition?
Well, I don't think I had much of a choice there, Sandy. I didn't have far to go back there. It was either that or just at full forward, and I'd played full forward a few games before that, so I thought it'd be a new challenge, and Alan gave me the chance, so I've enjoyed it immensely.
You still don't mind kicking goals, though, do you? The odd one or two.
I slip down there occasionally, it's all right.
And particularly, when was it earlier on in the season, I think you replaced Terry Wallace in the centre, and I don't think Terry's recovered from an injury so quickly in his life. Well done on being our first winner tonight, Gary Ayres.
Thanks, Sandy.
Gary Hughes typifies the rugged, no-frills approach to football that has made Hawthorn one of the power sides of the last decade. From his back pocket, he gains little of the limelight, but those at Glenferrie recognise him year after year. Most improved, most determined and most serviceable are just 3 of the awards he's picked up in the last couple of years, and at a club like Hawthorn, they are the type of awards that count.
And so to the second back pocket, this player has the job of minding the Rovers. Here are the nominations. From Footscray, Brad Hardy. From Carlton, Wayne Harms. And from Hawthorn, Russell Green. And the winner is Carlton's Wayne Harms. Firstly, how did you pull up after yesterday? I noticed you're receiving a bit of attention.
Yeah, just it's a very hard game, hard physical game, and not too bad, I guess.
How do you look back over the past 12 months, Wayne? Because at the end of last year, there was a lot of talk about your future, and yet here you've come out this season and really showed them how.
I think with the new coach coming along, it's a matter of going out and proving something, and also survival, I guess.
Everyone loves a drink, you know, when they're involved in sport, Wayne, don't they? But I was interested to learn that up at Rich River, I mean, you take your sport seriously, don't you? Particularly golf. The night before the big comp, didn't have a drink, came out the next day and ripped into them firing a 77 off the stick.
Well, yeah, it's a couple of guys got on the drink that night, Bernie and Reese, and it's just one of those things you got to, take things quiet. And,
actually, was Bruce still there? Because you have great rivalry with him, don't you?
No, Bruce didn't turn up on the weekend, but he certainly has himself with the golf stick.
Does he talk as much on the golf course as he does on the field?
Oh, he does those little things when he's just about to tee off. He does all the little things to try and put you off, but not too bad.
Wayne, congratulations on being selected in the back pocket. Well done. Wayne Harms.
In the 7 years since Wayne Harms won the Norm Smith Medal as best of field in the 1979 Grand Final, he's known some torrid times. Injury and form loss have robbed him of many games, but in 1986, he was back to his most confident and dashing best. Settled in the back pocket alongside his old mate Bruce Dool, the 26-year-old veteran of more than 150 games has made life just miserable for resting Rovers and kicked a goal or two himself.
Creeping up on me, sitting in the shade of a big old tree, working up a thirst, just staring at the sea, feeling this is how things ought to be. I wish this lazy Sunday would never disappear, and I could hold back Monday for the rest of the year. I can feel a 4X coming on. I can feel a 4X coming on. I've got the taste for it. I just can't wait for it. I can feel a 4X coming on.
And welcome back. For years, the tight defence role required at fullback allowed little character or personality to creep into a player's game in this last bastion of football defence. But with the new breed of full forwards in the early 70s and the fast running game that revolutionised football, came the attacking fullback. Men who would take risks, who would steam down the ground and were prepared to back their judgment. If the centre-half forward in football is the most creative on the ground and frequently the most brilliant player, then spare a thought for the men charged with keeping him out of the play, apart from having the perception of a mind reader and great reserves of concentration. The modern centre-half back must also play his own brand of attacking football. The versatility required is evident when you see how many of these key defenders turn up at centre-half forward themselves.
Richmond's premiership captain Fred Swift epitomised the fullback of old. Solid and reliable with a drop kick raking out towards the flanks and safety. Men like North Melbourne's David Dench changed all that in a few short years. If Hudson, McKenna or Jesaulenko faltered, he would take the ball and run, turning defence into attack. At Carlton, Jeff Southby was a wonderfully safe, almost classical fullback whose perfect understanding with his fellow backmen made the Blues' defence one of its most offensive weapons. 300-game veteran Kel Moore at Hawthorn enjoyed that same reputation. If Peter Hudson was kicking hundreds of goals at one end for the Hawks, Moore was saving just as many at the other end. But like Dench and Southby, he revelled in the freedom that modern football brought to his group.
And the final nominations for the position of fullback. Firstly from Hawthorn, Chris Langford. From Carlton, Bruce Dool. And from Fitzroy, Gary Pert. And the winner is Gary Pert. Congratulations, Gary. And particularly delighted, I guess, to be playing in a winning final on the weekend.
That's right, it was a great honour. It was great, it was fantastic. Club's been there a few times over the last few years, but good to win one.
Tell me, has it put more pressure on the players, not knowing what's been going to happen with the team off the field, particularly in the past 6 or 7 weeks? Because you've certainly...
Probably at times it was a little bit hard on the side, but I think the side just realised that the club was going to fight their battles off the field, and we just had to do what we had to on the field and make sure we got in the finals. What
effect has Father Brian had on your game?
Well, in junior football he had a big effect. He used to coach me in junior ranks, but now that I'm playing with Fitzroy, he just comes along to the game and just supports me, basically.
Now, I believe away from football, you're a fanatical fly fisherman, are you not?
That's right.
You're also a great mate of Paul Roos.
That's right.
Why is it, as very good friends, you can't get your best mate to go fly fishing with you?
Well, Paul's good at some things. He's good at basketball and tennis and obviously at football, but I think he's tried his hand at fly fishing. I don't know if he'll be doing it again.
Actually, I heard a rumour that he didn't go because there was no TV and there was no esky in the tent.
Well, he went along, but I don't think he had the finesse and just the touch of class needed for a little bit of delicate stuff like fishing like that.
Paul, you made it last weekend. Can the Roys go on with it this weekend?
I think they can. I think, you know, they're doing well at the moment. It's a good time to be playing well at this time of the season. I think we can go all the way, hopefully.
Well done, Gary. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Sam.
Congratulations.
At the age of 21, Gary Pert is the best fullback in Australia. The baby-faced looks belie a toughness and experience that was first recognised by Victorian selectors when the young Fitzroy defender was only 18. He's yet to play 100 games, yet to play in a premiership side or win his club champion award. Yet the aerial skills, the dash and the long kicking that mark his game have assured him of a place in the top echelon of players for a decade to come.
Well done, Gary Pert. I think I once again rechristened him Paul, but must have had something else on the brain. As I mentioned earlier, the modern centre half-back must also play his own brand of attacking football. And let's have a look at some of the greats.
It's hard to single out one position that Bruce Dool plays any better than another. But at centre-half-back in his early years with Carlton, he always looked at home there against the likes of Royce Hart and company. The original super cool, Bruce Dool. It was against Royce Hart that Geelong's Peter Walker also had some classic confrontations, and they are often regarded as the measuring stick of the position. The Hawks' Peter Knights played centre-half-back to perfection. He could beat nearly everyone in the air and electrify the crowds with his clearing dashes for close to a decade. The same traits have made Paul van der Haar a standout in this role, a high-flying bomber whose career has been shortened by too many crash landings.
And the nominations for centre-half-back, the final three. From Carlton, John Dorotich. From Sydney, Dennis Carroll. And from Fitzroy, Paul Roos. And winning the centre-half-back position in the 4X Team of the Year, the man who hates fly fishing, Paul Roos. Congratulations to Paul Roos. Well done, Paul. Why do you not like fly fishing?
Oh, it's just that, it's not that I don't like it, but it's just that Gary kept pushing him in the water all the time.
You're unbelievable. You must be deeply satisfied with the weekend's result, and from an own personal point of view, it's good to see that all that hard training that you absolutely love has paid off.
Have you been talking to Dave Parkman? No, I love training. Yeah, I love getting out there. It's terrific.
Let's go back to some of the great players. I hope he heard that, actually, because it could be on you now. When we talk about McKenna and we talk about Wade, some of the truly great kickers of the football, and then probably in years to come, it'll be Paul Roos, helicopter punt, won't it?
Bernie tell you that, did he? Actually, Bernie...
What is the helicopter punt?
Well, Bernie loves the helicopter kick because he's got it worked out because it always goes to one side, so Bernie always leads that way.
Yeah, but you do it, I mean, even from the back pocket. So
yeah, I know. I've got to improve on that. Yeah.
That's something you're working on?
I've got to work on that.
On a serious note, Paul, we know that you have enormous ability in a number of sports, including basketball and tennis. Was there any stage in your life that you thought you may have to choose between one of the three and it may not be football?
Oh, not really. I think it was just a bit of a natural progression. You get asked down to a club and it was a great thrill to be asked down, so I just went down to Fitzroy and hoped everything went well.
I know you'll want an early night for training tomorrow. Congratulations, Paul. Well
Thanks
done,
very
mate.
much, Sandy.
As the cash and media rewards mount, Paul Roos has firmed in favouritism for the 1986 Brownlow medal. His hasn't been just a year of sheer consistency alone. It's been a season studded with some outstanding solo performances from centre half back, with displays of awesome marking and power football. He finished third in the medal count last year, and it'd take a brave man to bet against him in 86. In 22 games, he's beaten the Lions' best three players 15 times, and as David Parkin correctly points out, at 23, he's just beginning.
Welcome back to the 4X VFL Coaches Team of the Year. I think at this stage we might just have a look and see how the team selected by the 12 VFL coaches is taking shape. From the back line, it reads Ayres, Pert and Harms and Paul Roos currently holding down the centre half-back position. Well, if the half-back flank is not the most glamorous position in league football, it must still rank as one of the most important. It's the springboard out of defence, the line from which so many attacks stem. Carlton's Alex Jesselenko, incidentally, won his only best and fairest on the half-back flank. John James won a Brownlow playing there, and Melbourne's coach Ron Barassi seemed to spend most of his time trying to play Robbie Flower back there.
That grizzled line Kevin Murray knocked up, proving that a good half-back flanker can rate with the game's best. He won 9 Fitzroy best and fairest, plus of course a Brownlow over 333 games. At Essendon, Barry Davis played the position to perfection. He gave little away, was a polished ball handler, and his leadership qualities were clearly evident in North's first premiership in 1975. His Kangaroo teammate John Rantel had those same qualities, determined and consistent. His name is always high on the list of the best players to hold down a back flank over a long period.
And there are 4 final nominations for the 2 half-back flanks. Firstly, from Essendon, Glenn Hawker. From Sydney, Bernard Toohey. From Carlton, Ken Hunter. And again from Carlton, Tommy Alban. And our first half-back flanker is Ken Hunter from Carlton. I'll tell you what, let's just get the news out of the way first, because I was dreading. If you got 1 or 2 or 3, I thought, oh no, I can't talk to him. What happened? You got off?
No, I was found guilty, Sandy.
But you can still play.
I can still play, yeah.
That's the important thing, isn't it?
That's the most important thing.
Now look, I had a message from Bobby Skilton. If ever I was to interview you, there was one question I should in particular ask you.
What's it?
Well, he has found that most, in fact almost all players that come from Western Australia are a pretty good kick.
I'd agree with him there. I mean,
But why are you the one exception was his question.
I think Bob's always had a go at me about my right foot kicking, but I'm practicing it on it, Sandy, and hopefully by the time I'm 33 I'll be pretty good.
Actually, the other thing you do, you sit next to Teddy Whitten Jr., don't you, at work?
Yeah.
You would have solved just about all the football problems, the national comp all done and everything, is it?
Yeah, with Ted, yeah, we talk a bit about Footscray and the way they're going, and he lets out a few secrets with Shane O'Sullivan, and so it's good when I go back to Carlton. We've got a few bit of inside information on Footscray.
Now, what about Carlton for next week? You're going to be quite okay?
I'm not sure at the moment.
You hobbled around yesterday and could only manage 4.
I'm just recovering from a hamstring at the moment, so hopefully by the end of the week it'll come up.
Well played yesterday. Good luck and well done on being chosen tonight.
Thanks very much.
Ken Hunter. Kenny. Still thinking of the tribunal. And now, who will occupy the remaining half-back flank? Well, it's the Daily Double from Carlton, Tom Alvin, who I believe is not here, so I might ask Coach Robbie Walls just to come forward, Robbie, if you would, and tell us when you're going to ask Tommy to have a haircut, or if in fact you are not. On behalf of he, though, I would like to congratulate Tommy. How do you find him as a coach?
Oh, he's very easy to coach. He's keen. He trains very hard and a lot of courage and eyes on the ball. Very easy to coach.
When did you decide that he wouldn't be playing at the weekend?
That only happened on Friday night at our last training session. He pulled up a bit sore.
And what about next week?
I think he's a very good chance to come up this week.
Robbie, would you convey our congratulations to him, and let's hope that he does come up.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robbie Walls on behalf of Tommy Alvin.
Injuries have been cruel to Ken Hunter this season, but despite missing a dozen games, he's an automatic selection in any team of the year. The great marking of this 29-year-old ex-West Australian is just one facet of his game. His leadership in defence another. He might look awkward, and with the socks down, a mite untidy, but put him in any one-on-one situation, and Ken Hunter will invariably come out with the ball. The flowing locks of Tom Alvin made him a standout when he came down to Carlton from Bairnsdale 3 seasons ago. Now, with close to 60 games to his credit, he has proved he is more than curiosity value around Princes Park. He's developed into one of the most attacking halfback flankers in the business, has represented Victoria, and has shown coach Robert Walls both flair and versatility by bobbing up in any number of positions during the year.
You get your first kick with your dad out there amongst the mob. Then you're picked for the under-9s, you can feel it coming on. You make it to the Little League, you're game and tough and strong. They say the kid's got promise, you can feel it coming on. Now comes a nomination, the coaches can't be wrong. 4X Coaches Team of the Year, you can feel it coming on. Judge and jury, 12 good men decide if you belong. 4X Coaches Team of the Year, you can feel it coming on. You can feel the glory coming on. You can feel the glory coming on. Got the taste for it, just can't wait for it. You can feel the glory, you can feel the glory, you can feel the glory coming on.
Welcome back to the 4X Coaches Team of the Year. We're approaching the centre line now, but before we do that, let's have a look and see how the team is taking shape. As you can see, we've had a look at the full-back line, and now the Carlton boys taking both half-back flanks on the side of Paul Roos. Well, the sheer class of football sentiment is shown when you look back through the records of the Brownlow medal. 14 times the game's highest individual award has gone to the man in the middle. The great teams of recent years have all possessed match-winning sentiment. Differing styles perhaps, but all with that ability to get the ball up forward quickly and effectively. A glance at the honour roll in recent years shows a string of truly great champions.
When John Kennedy took the Hawks to their first flag in 1961, one of the keys to Hawthorn's success was the ball-gathering ability of Brendan Edwards in the centre. Essendon had triple All-Australian centreman Jack Clark, an elegant player with immaculate disposal. And in the same era, Geelong's Alistair Lord took the Brownlow. Lord moved freely all over the field, picking up kicks at will. Rustling Billy Barrett had a kick like a mule. His drop kicking out of the centre and his understanding with wingers Clay and Burke made the Richmond centre line of the 60s the model in VFL football. For class and consistent brilliance, it's hard to go past St Kilda and Richmond's courageous Ian Stewart. He could fly for a mark or battle for the ball at ground level, and 3 Brownlow medals were fitting testament.
And so the final nominations for the pivot position. From Hawthorn, Terry Wallace. From Essendon, Leon Baker. And from Sydney, Greg Williams. And the winner is Greg Williams from Sydney. Well done, Greg. Congratulations. Commiserations for the weekend, but of course you've still got another chance. Yep. How did you get the nickname Diesel? Tractor just ploughing on through.
No, they say it's because I'm slow and reliable, but that's not true. It was from, I had a video from the Gridiron in USA, and a bloke called John Riggins, that was his nickname, they named me after him. So.
Although you lost yesterday, did you get any personal satisfaction of playing against Carlton, the team that virtually sent you packing?
Oh, no. I like playing against Carlton for sure, but, you know, I've got nothing against Carlton. When I went there, I didn't get a kick, so I can't really blame them for letting me go.
Well, Sydney's certainly a far cry from Geelong. Has it been easy for you to adapt up there?
Yeah, pretty easy. Like, you know, this one's made me welcome, and all the other players that are there have been terrific, so I can't ask for any more than that.
You had something like, I think it was 348 handballs prior to the finals. Do you value a handball more than a kick?
I have to say that, wouldn't I? But, no, I think a good handball is as good as a kick, for sure.
I think you've shown us that. Greg, congratulations. Good luck in the remaining final. Okay. Greg Williams.
Greg Williams has left a trail of broken hearts in football. At Carlton, where he was overlooked, at Geelong, where he shone briefly before accepting a lucrative offer from the Sydney Swans, and with players week after week who try unsuccessfully to tag him. He has immaculate ball sense and was the most exciting hand pass in league football. And with 348 for the season, easily the most prolific. No matter what he cost the Swans, Williams has been the bargain buy of the year and the prime factor in the Swans' amazing rise up the ladder in '86.
Yes, well done, Greg Williams. Well, they were once short speedsters, but the wingmen of today can be tall, tough and rangy. It's a position that shows off the graceful side of football in the open spaces and sets the scene for blistering forays into attack. Over the last 3 decades, the VFL has produced some magnificent wingers. Wingers who provided us, the spectators, with some truly wonderful football.
Melbourne's Tassie medalist Brian Dixon was one of the new breed. Taller, tough and strong in the air, and he dominated the wings of the MCG for over 250 games. North's Laurie Dwyer was one of the classical mob. Little Twinkle Toes twice was runner-up in the Brownlow and led his opponents a merry chase throughout his distinguished career. Just as Norm Smith had looked for more height on the wings, so did Tommy Hafey at Richmond. Francis Burke looked after one wing and Dick Clay looked after the other, Richmond's resurgent sides of the 60s. Laurie Dwyer narrowly missed out, but North's Keith Gregg gave his side their first Brownlow honours and had the distinction of winning twice in a row. Gregg's elegance on one wing and the determination and sheer speed of the fellow Brunswick boy Wayne Schimmelbusch on the other produced dramatic results for the Barassi-coached Roo sides of the 70s.
Well, it came down to 4 finalists for the 2 wings. Those finalists are, from Collingwood, Darren Mullane. From Melbourne, Robbie Flower. From Footscray, Doug Hawkins. And from Hawthorn, Robert DiPierre Domenico. The coach has decided that on one wing should be Doug Hawkins of Footscray. Actually, if we wanted to slot in another commercial break now, this would be the time to do it, because the dear old chap was placed right at the top of the stairs and has got a hobble across. I think he deserves a round of applause just for even getting here. Well done, Dougie. Actually, we were going to get Sam Newman to do this interview, but we thought it'd just be total laughter for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it would be, I think. Yeah.
So, how is the knee?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah, it's come on pretty well. We're in the physio every day. And,
You're not sitting up with Terry Danaher, are you?
Yeah,
you are?
He's coming over next year, I think, so we're pretty good. No, it's come on pretty well, and I'm looking forward to playing next year.
After the operation, I spoke to you, and you were very confident then that you would be right for the first game. Is that still on schedule?
Hasn't changed, mate, no.
Probably won't either.
No, I don't think so.
Well, let's hope not for Footscray fans. Now, look, I've had a call too from Shane O'Sullivan because he's had a number of irate members that want the social club moved to the opposite wing so that they can see number 7. Why is it you're always placed there? Is it because Mick wants to have a chat to you? I know the wind blows over that way, so you're getting more of the play, but what is the reason?
Well, as you said, the wind does go over that way, and plus, when I do a few things wrong, you can always hear Mick yelling out, so... You know, I do play the side most of the time because, as you said, the wind does go over there.
Dougie, congratulations on being selected, and let's see you in action next year.
Buddy, thanks.
Doug Hawkins.
Coach Michael Malthouse recently described Footscray wingman Doug Hawkins as the best footballer to play in the VFL since 1970. Brave words indeed from a former Richmond and St Kilda player who saw the best of them. The skills of Hawkins have been honed to perfection. His wing play is nothing short of inspirational, and it wasn't coincidental that Footscray's finals hopes plummeted when Hawkins was carried from the MCG at round 17 with a serious knee injury. Footscray's club champion last year, ahead of Brownlow winner Brad Hardy, the Hawk has played 170 games since joining from Braybrook in 1978.
On the other wing, and it's interesting to note that he polled more votes than any other of the final nominations for the wing, the Italian stallion, Robert Di Domenico. Is it right, Bertie, that you played your first game? Settle down. Do you want to do it, do you? You're more than welcome. You played your first game in, not senior game, I think you were on the bench, in 1975?
That's correct.
August of 75?
That's right.
When was your second game?
I think 78.
Did you ever start to think, oh, gee, I'm not going to get a game in the seniors?
Always under control, son. Always under control. I've lost them late.
I was going to say, it hasn't changed, has it?
No, I hope not anyway.
Speaking of things changing, has this enormous hit, this monster smash, changed the life of Robert Di Domenico? Ho, ho.
No, not actually. Actually, I'll bring up my own record after the finals.
What's that called?
I don't know yet. I've got to think of a name for it.
Has it been a help, actually? Didn't you teach your child to say your surname by playing the record?
Yeah, young Dylan's only 3.5 years old, and I keep saying, Di Domenico, Di Domenico. He always says Minico or Minico. Since the song's come out, he says, I'm Di Domenico. So...
Oh, hang on. Do the whole song. Hold on. Bertie, congratulations. I think everyone will agree you're a great ornament and character. Now I'll get beaten mouth for saying ornament, but let's not worry about it tonight. Well done, mate.
Thanks very much.
Bertie Di Domenico.
They finally got around to writing a song about Bertie Di Domenico this year, but those at Hawthorn have been singing his praises for close to 10 years. The Hawks love him. They love his toughness, the way he throws himself into everything and everyone with bruising abandon. They love his desperation and the joys that come with his success. Bertie mightn't be a Greg or a Flower, have the zip of a Schimmelbusch, but who else can burst through a pack, spread eagle them all, run 30 metres and kick that miracle goal? The Big Dipper can, and often does.
Welcome back. Hope you're enjoying the show. Well, we've got our centre line with Doug Hawkins and Robert Di Domenico flanking Greg Williams. Just to bring you up to date with the team, there they are. Oh, I knew they'd make an appearance. Bertie certainly is trying to take over the show, isn't he? And to all those winners tonight, of course, they take the magnificent trophy from 4X, and I'm sure it is something that they shall value for a long, long time to come. Well, in these days of versatile, interchangeable footballers, how many coaches would swap half a dozen of their utility players for one true centre-half forward? To look back over the last few decades at the great sides, you see a cavalcade of champions holding down this key attacking role.
Mr. Football Ted Whitten could bob up anywhere and destroy a side. At centre-half forward, he was simply devastating. Sure hands, that uncanny judgment, and a kick to match. Plus a trick or two for the unwary. Essendon's Ken Fraser played there in 2 premiership sides for the Bombers. A little ungainly when it came to kicking, but ever so effective. The Tigers' Royce Hart was a modern superstar. He added a touch of polish to the role. A soaring mark and majestic left-foot kick, coupled with great leadership qualities, put Hart into a class of his own in the Tigers' great teams.
And so now to the final nominations for the key centre-half forward position. From Carlton, and a big weekend, Steve Kernahan. From Hawthorn, Dermot Brereton. And from Essendon, Roger Merritt. And the coach's team of the year, centre-half forward, is Hawthorn's Dermot Brereton. And of course, Dermot in action next weekend after a week off. Well done, Dermot. Hang on, just turn around, turn around. No, turn around. Oh, this is unbelievable, isn't it? Can we have a look at the left ear? No, don't be modest, kid. What brought this on? That's a new one, isn't it? Come on, a little bit
I think
closer.
it's got something to do with being brought up in Frankston, I'm not too sure.
Is it really?
Oh.
Bit of a worry down there, is it?
No, they're all pretty nice sort of people down
Now,
there.
how's Brutus Beefcake, professional wrestler? You're not going to do a jacko in later years, are you?
No, they're a bit bigger than me.
What sort of a bloke is he?
Oh, nice chap.
How did you come to become involved with him?
Tony Ferrugia, our, what is his secretary, I think. He knew I watched him every Thursday night, thought he was a bit of a gun, and thought they were coming here, we'd get a promotion working and get BFC seen in a photo and teed it up. So
they never stop, do they, the marketing boys?
No, get all the money they can out of them. Yeah.
Dermy, good to have a week off?
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
And raring to go next week?
Yeah, very keen.
Now, just before you go, one quick question. Any truth in the rumour that one of your favourite pin-ups is the rock singer Vicky O'Keefe?
Who's she? No, I think Johnny Platten had that magazine yesterday and thrust it upon me and...
I can see this mop of hair going, no.
He's a good liar.
Is he?
Yeah, excellent.
Dermy, go and find your coat. Congratulations and good luck next weekend. Dermot Brereton.
Dermot Brereton wrote his name in the record books on grand final day last year when he kicked 8 goals against Essendon and the Hawks' losing side. Suspension, injuries and the drop in form have robbed the Hawks of his brilliance during much of the season, but the fact remains that Brereton is without peer at centre-half forward in the VFL. Great hands, that uncanny anticipation and a super kick. Brereton sparks off the Hawthorn forward line and he's still only 22. He has 3 grand finals behind him and perhaps 10 of his best years ahead.
And congratulations to Dermot Brereton. Well, when you look at the great players who have made the half-forward line home, you understand the creativity and skills required. The forward flankers of old were specialists. Today, perhaps, they might be called on to ruck row. There again is the versatility of football in the 80s. Let's just refresh our memories for a moment as we look at some of the really special talents of these half-forwards.
Like Jeff Tunbridge at Melbourne, Richmond's John Northey was an elusive and successful forward flanker in 2 premierships and over 117 games with the Tigers. His teammate Roger Dean held down a number of positions, but he too could fit the bill on the flank with ease. Whether on the ball or on the forward flank, Hawthorn's Graham Arthur was both tough and inspirational. There have been few better ball players than dazzling Darryl. St Kilda's Mr Magic, Darryl Baldock. Short in stature but with a terrific leap, Baldock could dominate a game from centre-half forward or the flank and was the Saints' top goal kicker 4 years in a row. The position was played to perfection by Collingwood's Des Tuddenham over 250 games. Tuddy was a great leader with that ruthless determination and provided a steady avenue to his full forward.
2 half-forward flankers required, so we have 4 final nominations. They are from Geelong, Gary Ablett. From North Melbourne, Phil Cracker. From Carlton, Wayne Johnston. And from Hawthorn, Gary Buckanara. The first of our half-forward flankers is Gary Ablett from Geelong. Congratulations, Gary. Well done. Isn't it great to talk with someone that's really well dressed? Good to see you, mate. Thanks, mate. Good to see you. Let's go back to your childhood days. And in those times, was it difficult for you to get a kick with brothers Jeff and Kevin? How did the family work?
Well, I always took notice of what my brothers said about their football, and I think it helped me a lot in my football career, yeah.
You had an extraordinary turnaround, didn't you, being a virtual discard from Hawthorn to now possibly the most valuable player in Australia. Was there anything special that turned you around?
Oh, yes, I think I was fit for a change, yeah.
Bit of pre-season?
Yeah, but mainly I think that I just dedicated myself, and, you know, it's the hard work and pays off in the end, yeah.
Can we just go back to that game against Richmond? And there was a rumour going round, I don't know whether it's correct, but I'm sure you can put us right. You desperately wanted a goal. Now, did Mick Turner come up to you and say, Gary, look, we've got to steady this down, we want to steady it, can you get one?
Yeah, Mick did come up and say, if we can get one more, we'll seal this game. And I said, sort of, all right, but I didn't mean it in the way that it was put across, but it sounded good.
Well, I'll tell you something else, it looked all right too. Yeah. Gary, congratulations on being named on the half-forward flank.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
He's the most explosive player in Australian football, the most spectacular and the most electrifying. In 1986, Gary Ablett played only 15 games for Geelong after a serious knee injury delayed the start of his season. Yet in those games, he averaged slightly more than 4 goals and finished the season on 65. Whether on the half-forward flank or at full forward, Ablett has the majestic leap, the sure ball handling and the walloping kick to make him one of the real superstars of football. A man who can swing a game in minutes and seal a team's fate with one brilliant burst.
Well done. And on the remaining half-forward flank, the coaches have chosen Gary Buckanara from Hawthorn. Would you agree, Gary, that it took you probably 2 years to overcome that rotten thing on your leg, that knee?
Yeah, it does take a lot of work to get over, yeah. Perseverance and confidence back in yourself again. Yeah.
And this year, your best possibly since being over here?
Certainly more consistent, yeah, which has been pleasing, yeah.
You mightn't want to answer it, but last year, you were very, very dark, come finals time. So you thought, right, I'll go out and fix this. Kick 8 in the reserves. How close were you to saying, I'll go back home? Or was it just a thing, that a spur-of-the-moment thing?
No, I was fairly close to going back home, but a lot of factors led to that. My mother was injured in a car accident, a bit of family reasons. But I came back in December and had a word to Alan, and Alan sort of asked me if I'd put in a good pre-season, then make a decision. So it worked out well in the long run.
Am I right in suggesting that this finals could be a big one for the Buckanara household, because isn't Annette?
Yes, due now virtually, so.
Well, I won't keep you any longer then on that note. Well done, Gary Buckanara. Good on you, mate.
West Australians delight in telling us that we haven't seen the best of Hawthorn's Gary Buckanara, although in 1986 his form has been sensational. The unluckiest of players, Buckanara went down with a knee injury in the opening minutes of the Hawks' 83 grand final win over Essendon and has missed the last 2 losing playoffs on grand final day against the Bombers. In between, he's played some dazzling football with Western Australia's State of Origin team, and this season is amongst the favourite for the Brownlow. A great mark and a prolific kick-getter, Buckanara can perhaps look forward to that elusive grand final this year.
And welcome back to the XXXX Coaches VFL Team of the Year. It's certainly starting to take shape now as we check it with the addition of the half-forward line before moving down to full forward. Gary Ablett on one flank, Dermot Brereton at half-forward, and Gary Buckanara on the remaining half-forward flank. Well, full forward has always been the glamour position, the spot we fought to win from our first match as kids right through to senior ranks in the top level of league football. It's turned talented youngsters into household names, unknowns into heroes, from the days of Gordon Coventry, the first man to top the century in a season way back in 1929, through to the likes of Warwick Capper, who rules the skies over the harbour city. They've come in all shapes and sizes. They've been goal sneaks and high flyers, those who used their strength, those who have led to perfection. These, then, are the sharpshooters.
Nearly 40 years on, the magic of John Coleman still lives. From 1949, when he kicked 100 goals in his first season, until his retirement through injury in 1954, there were none bigger. It was to be a knee injury too that temporarily halted Peter Hudson in 1972, but the Tasmanian legend returned and kicked one more 100 5 years later. The 70s saw Doug Wade, the cat-turned-rude, take his tally to over 1,000 goals. Peter McKenna thrilled his legion of Magpie fans with 100 goals 3 years in a row. And Carlton's Alex Jesaulenko, who was as much at home riding on the shoulders of Graham Jenkin in this classic mark as he was weaving his magic in the goalmouth on grand final day.
And so to the three final nominations for the full forward position. From Essendon, Paul Salmon. From Sydney, Warwick Capper. And from Collingwood, Brian Taylor. The coaches full forward is Brian Taylor from Collingwood. Well done, BT. And congratulations on the John Coleman medal. 100 goals for the season. Must have given you a great deal of satisfaction, BT.
Oh yes, I suppose personally it was satisfying, but it would have been nice to make the five, Sandy.
Now, he's not here tonight. I think he's over trying to find a replacement for Greg Phillips, so we can talk freely. You're amongst friends. What's Lee like as a coach?
Oh, he's a marvellous fella. Very good.
Does he change your game at all?
Oh, not really. I think he's changed.
Have you become more disciplined?
Oh, I wouldn't think so, Sam. I think he's just changed the team as a whole, and they're playing much better because of it.
Well, what about Peter McKenna? Has he been of assistance to you this season?
Oh yeah, Peter's been down on quite a number of occasions and been of great benefit to me personally. And I really look forward each time he comes down to learning a few things off him.
Actually, he was the last great Collingwood full forward to kick a ton, and incidentally went on to become a sensational recording star with that very forgettable hit, Remember. That's Pete just falling over, by the way. Does that mean, now that you've kicked the ton, won the medal, that you could possibly be going into the recording studio during this break?
Oh, I very much doubt it, Sandy.
BT, congratulations once again on a big season and all the best for next year. Brian Taylor, our full forward.
In the last home and away match of the season, Brian Taylor became the fourth Collingwood player in history to top the ton. He joined the legends, Coventry, Todd and McKenna, and at 24, who's to say he won't knock their records around in the years to come. Taylor has thrived under the coaching of Lee Matthews. Always a strong mark and great kick, Taylor became more mobile at the urging of his coach, and the results are in the record books. He averaged exactly 5 goals a game, and on preliminary final day will receive his great...
You get your first kick with your dad out there amongst the mob. Then you're picked for the under-9s, you can feel it coming on. You make it to the Little League, you're game and tough and strong. They say the kid's got promise, you can feel it coming on. Now comes a nomination, the coaches can't be wrong. For ex-coaches Team of the Year, you can feel it coming on. Judge and jury, 12 good men decide if you belong. For ex-coaches Team of the Year, you can feel it coming on. You can feel the glory coming on. You can feel the glory coming on. Got the taste for it, just can't wait for it. You can feel the glory. You can feel the glory. You can feel the glory.
Welcome back, and I just wonder how your team at home is shaping up. Is it anything like the one the coaches have given us so far for the 86 Team of the Year, with Simon Madden leading the ruck division, Gerard Healy the first of the ruck rovers, and Michael Tuck the second, resting in the forward pocket. Well, if you asked all the rovers in the room here tonight just what is the basic ingredient for a good rover, courage would come high on their list. The ability to bounce back from the knocks, to dive into the packs after the hard ball, and to keep going all day. Just looking at the great rovers of recent years, the great champions, and you see these attributes only too well.
Many rate South's Bobby Skilton the greatest rover of all. 3 Brownlows, 10 Best and Fairest Awards, and 25 Victorian Guernseys are the cold statistics. But the lingering memories of the skills, the courage, and the determination of the chimp live with all who watched him. As Skilton bowed out, Barry Cable arrived. A handball wizard from the West, super fit and dedicated, Cable never wasted the ball. Some facts and figures helped discover the Bartlett mystique. Little Kev had 8,329 kicks over 403 games with Richmond and played in 5 premierships. Fast, elusive, and with 778 goals, deadly in attack. Deadly perhaps, but invariably lethal, Lee Matthews was a man who put roving into a different perspective. He could protect himself, he could sort out an opponent, and he could run through anything that stood in his way. 340 games and more than 900 goals will ensure that the Matthews name lives on in football history.
Our final nominations for the roving division. From Hawthorn, John Platten. From North Melbourne, Jimmy Cracker. And from Richmond, Dale Waitman. First rover, as far as the coaches are concerned, in 1986 is North Melbourne's Jimmy Cracker. Well done, Jimmy. Your ball handling skills and your kicking are quite amazing. I'm sure that everyone who follows football loves to see you in action, and we hear a lot of stories. Did you ever have a football out of your hand when you were a kid?
Oh, we used to mess around a lot when we were kids with football. I think it's just a gift and we're trying to use it to our fullest.
You're doing fairly well at the moment, actually, Jimmy. When you say you used to muck around with it, did you have anything special that you used to do, particularly for your pinpoint accuracy?
We used to have line a fork up, say in a tree or something, and have shots at that, so that may have helped.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the new coaching methods next year for the 12 teams. It's interesting to watch you and Phil at work, because to us it's a bit like radar, or even maybe a second sense. I mean, what is it? Do you talk a lot to each other on the field?
I think it's mainly confidence. Philip knows how I plays and I know how he plays, so if he gets the ball, I call out team probably before other players call out and vice versa.
Well, John Kennedy has seen you in action this year, and you appear to be playing more consistent football under John. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the last 2 years have been my most consistent.
Well, what's the influence that he has over you?
Oh, he's a good coach. He just expects players to do their best and he's happy.
All this talk, Jimmy, about the national competition, would you consider going back if a West Australian team comes into the comp?
I like North Melbourne, so I don't know, I just got to wait and see.
I bet you were relieved tonight too, mate, to see those the Essendon boys coming out, and I'm saying, how did you fare at the tribunal? Nothing like that to you tonight.
No.
Good on you, Jimmy. Well done. Jimmy Cracker.
He's a volatile little bloke, Jimmy Cracker, as his brushes with the VFL tribunal will attest. But for sheer football magic, there are few better anywhere in the land. But sleight of hand and foot, Jim's a marvel. He can kick goals with ease, but it's as a team player that he excels, bringing others into the game with younger brother Phil, his chief sidekick. At a time when attendances at sporting events worldwide are struggling, it's a player like Jimmy Cracker who can get the turnstile spinning.
And well done to Jimmy Cracker. He is our first rover. And how's your team looking? Well, let's have a quick look for those people at home, because the time is drawing near when we're going to make that draw for that fabulous prize, compliments of 4X. But we come now to the second rover, and we'll find him having a bit of a spell in the forward pocket. And the winner of that position is from Richmond, Dale Waitman.
Well done, Flo.
Tigers, a little disappointing this year, but you once again this season have shown extraordinary skills, particularly in state of origin football. Does that interstate rivalry just mean that little bit extra to you?
Oh, no, I don't think it means anything extra. I think I probably, playing at Richmond, you know, we try hard and do all the right things, but when you're playing state football, you can probably do all the same running and everything, but sometimes the ball comes out a little bit easier for you. And that's why I think I hit the ball a bit often.
Now, I'd like to change the topic absolutely completely, Flea.
Thanks, mate. Oh.
Sit down. Do you know what I'd like to talk about?
What?
You're getting worried. Driving.
Driving, yeah.
I have heard that without any question, you are the worst there is.
I've just been a bit unlucky.
A bit unlucky. Now, let's go back. There's a couple here. We could be finishing a bit after 11 here. The first one. I believe you had to make 2 calls to Richmond from the bush. Tell us the story.
Yeah, well, I had a nap on the way home from Mildura at Christmas time and went off the side of the road. And I...
So what, you rang the club?
Rang the club and said I was going to be late.
Right.
And then I had another one on the way, so I had to ring him again.
And said you wouldn't be there at all?
I couldn't make it at all.
And then, of course, you joined the VFL, and I believe you got a VFL car?
A very nice car too, it was.
How was... What happened in the first week?
Well, I got... Funny, actually, I was a working promotions office and I got reported once, and also in the same week I rode off the car, so they weren't too happy. I was too scared to catch me pay on the Wednesday. I didn't really want to go in there.
Did you drive tonight?
Yes, I did. Yeah, no, they give me another one, I don't know why.
I think possibly the best thing might be if our live audience stays back with us to let you get going. We'll wait, say, 10 minutes, then scoot off.
Well, it's amazing, like, there's no one at the footy club gets in the car with me. I had to pick up Johnny Platten the other day from, had to do a super clinic in the bush, and he looked at me all the way, and I thought, hang on, he wanted to jump out, I think. It's all what they've been saying about me, so, no, I've just been unlucky, that's all.
Dead unlucky. Flea, congratulations on being picked again. A fine year, the team of the year.
Thanks,
well
Andy.
done. Dale Waitman.
Dale Waitman cemented his rating as the top rover in the land with 5 goals against Western Australia in Perth and subsequent selection in the All-Australian team for the 2nd year in a row. The Tiger Rover is one of the game's most creative. His use of handball is spectacular and his foot passing a delight. Still only 26, the Flea has played 173 games for the Tigers, and despite his consistency and his match-winning displays for Victoria, he's yet to break through for Richmond's Best and Fairest award.
Welcome back. Well, we've got the coach's top 18 players, but they selected 20, and we'll be announcing the 2 interchange players to make up the top 20 players in the VFL as far as the coaches are concerned in just a moment. But let's have a look at the 18 as they stand, and how are you faring at home? Still in the hunt for that wonderful prize that we're going to be announcing shortly from 4X. 4 years of VIP Grand Final treatment. A truly great prize. Now, our interchange players are chosen by those 2 players who polled the most number of votes outside the 18. The first of those players is from Essendon, Mark Thompson. And actually, I think this could have been done on the wrong night for poor old Bomber, but nevertheless, he can give us the full report. Congratulations, Mark, on being picked in the Team of the Year.
Thanks, Andy.
Now, VFL House.
Bad night.
Not good, was it? What happened?
Well, I got reported, and they didn't think my evidence was good enough, so they...
Didn't like the story?
No, they didn't like the story. Excuse, so they gave me 3 weeks.
Oh, well, we're disappointed to hear that, so we won't discuss that any further. In fact, what we might do is change the topic completely.
Yeah.
You're an electrician, aren't you?
That's right, mate, yes.
You have your own van?
Yes.
You often take your van to training, don't you?
That's right, mate.
Do people ever play practical jokes on you?
Always.
Could you tell us the story of you after training, I think it was after training, being an electrician, a man who knows power, who knows lights, driving home in your van when you noticed that the lights didn't appear to be operating at all?
Yeah, well, it's funny about that, mate. We had a meeting. It was about 9:30 when we left, and jumped in the car, and I turned the lights on, and I took off. I thought, hang on a minute, the lights aren't working. So I jumped out, and someone had painted the lens of the lights with black paint. So I had to get out a footy sock and dip it in a puddle and scratch a little circle in so I could find my way home.
No names, but would you by any chance be possibly looking at Mark Harvey or Tim Watson as prime suspects?
Yeah, it's the worst part about losing on Saturday, you know. I had a big night planned for Monday, but there's no training, so I can't get them back.
Because you three have a bit of a running war, don't you?
Yeah, it's been happening all year, actually.
Anything else you'd like to report?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I had a shower and I dried off and put my jocks on, and the front of them was cut out and the back of them was cut out. Happened for about 2 weeks, and it just automatically stopped when Tim Watson went to Queensland. So,
Funny about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, I just saw a shot of Terry Danner having a good laugh there, so he may know something about it.
Yeah, he might.
Well, congratulations on a great season. I'm sorry it had to finish for you on a sour note, but good luck next year. Mark Thompson.
Thanks a lot, Sam. Well done.
In an Essendon team full of big-name players, Mark Thompson shares little of the limelight, but he's almost the first chosen every week. Only 22, Thompson has already played in back-to-back premierships and has been the Bombers' most determined, most improved and best clubman in his 3 seasons. From his back pocket, he's averaged around 20 possessions a game in 1986 and has continued to impress everyone with his remarkable consistency.
And so now we come to the player making up the top 20 players as far as the coaches are concerned for 1986. The second interchange player for the Coaches Team of the Year, well, he'll probably be laughing again. Terry Danaher of Essendon. Well done, Terry. Well done, mate.
Andy, how are you?
Very well, thanks, mate.
That's all right.
You had a good laugh over that, didn't you, with the Bomber?
Oh, I enjoy laughing, yes, it's good.
Were you involved in that?
No, not at all, Sandy. Not
Well,
at
look,
all.
I've got a bit of a question for you, actually, because everyone knows that you are one of the most highly respected window cleaners in Victoria.
Oh, I try to be, yes.
I mean, what help is that going to be for you back at the farm?
Oh, well, it might be able to help Mummy out there, I suppose, when I get back home from time to time, but it doesn't take long. The red dust up there, Sandy, from the dirty, and you don't bother cleaning your windows up there.
All right, well, let's stay down here for the moment. Can we go back to June? It was peak hour in the morning. It was the corner of Victoria and Rathdown Streets.
Oh,
What were you doing?
Just had a bit of a bad morning, mate, just a bit fresh and a bit of a frost on the footpath there, people going to work, and just out doing a bit of window cleaning, and perhaps overstretched a little, and the ladder twisted a bit, and I went sprawling, and it happened to spread the people going to work, so it spread them out a bit, but yeah, they found it quite amusing.
No worries, she'll be right, mate.
I had to jump straight back up and made it look as though I had it all planned.
Excellent.
It was quite embarrassing, really.
Actually, didn't the same or a similar thing happen? I think it might have been before the '84 grand final when Barry Capuano was driving in there to the Essendon Social Club. A couple of days before the grand final, there's the club captain, up Lord knows how many feet, cleaning the social club windows.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose it's, yeah, what is it about? First floor. It was getting up a bit, but it's a job that had to be done, but I didn't envy it, but either did Barry. You know, didn't like us up there, but we got the job done.
Terry, a disappointing end for you and Essendon. You look forward once again to next season, though?
Oh, of course, you know, it was disappointing, particularly to be out of the finals run now, but yeah, we'll have a break for a short time and looking forward to getting back into it.
You're one of the players who unashamedly shows enormous enthusiasm for the game and every aspect of the game. What is it that just keeps you driving, keeps you motivated all the time?
Oh, I think that it's the same thing that it keeps most of the players going, I think, today, and that's your love of it, you know, the enjoyment you get out of it, particularly not only just on the field.
We ask the player...